lot. Guys in and out. For us, it's just staying healthy. But we got a deep roster. Adding Rondo helped us. Adding Cuz late in our push helped us. I think, we're starting to build our identity. When we get on this floor, we know who we are.
All right, Nick, what do you make of Paul George saying we're starting to build our identity and we exactly know who we are after their win over the Suns last night? A good win for them.
Well, that was a great basketball game. And Kevin Wildes, before we went on the air, said it's starting to feel like spring's in the air. You know what it smells like to me? It smells like basketball season finally. Last night, you had a really good doubleheader on TNT. And it really feels like we are putting to bed the 2020 NFL season. We've got the draft, of course, and we'll look towards that. But it really, for the first time all year, it feels like this is basketball season. And last night was a great introduction to it. You had a game that had a little bit of everything. You had, I think, the best dunk of Kawhi Leonard's career. You had Patrick Beverley doing Patrick Beverley things and getting thrown out of the game. You had TNT, I think, experimenting with something they should do more often, because for nearly a full quarter they had cut Reggie Miller's mic. It was glorious. And then on top of all of it, and maybe most importantly, and this could, if this continues, this could allow the Los Angeles Clippers to do something they've never done in the history of their less than storied franchise. Make a conference finals. You had the first appearance in a Clippers uniform of playoff Rondo. And while you might say, Nick, it's not the playoffs. It's not the playoffs, but this did have a bit of a playoff atmosphere. It's two of the four best teams in the West. It's two of the hottest teams in the league. The game meant more than a typical regular season game. And while I've been skeptical that Rondo's going to be able to activate some superpower like he did in the postseason last year to go from being a bad regular season player to an excellent addition in the postseason, last night made the case, no, he actually can do that. Because last night it was a big game, they needed him, and he was excellent. So if you're a Clippers fan, and I know, Jenna, you said Brandon's been big on the Suns, and that's true, but the Suns are his side piece. His main is the Clippers, other than the Nets, of course. I guess Brandon's juggling a bunch of them. But in the Western Conference, his main is the Clippers. They're exactly right. Your pick to make the finals, and I imagine, Brandon, this morning you're feeling very good.
Feeling really good, Nick. My prediction is standing strong right now. The Nets to come out the East, and we got the Clippers to come out the West. So feel really good there. Look, they beat the hottest team in the NBA right now. Well, the second hottest team in the NBA right now, and that's the Suns. Okay? They're second behind, yes, the Nets. The Nets, since February 10th, they won more games than anybody. So if we can't talk about the Jazz, then that means our team, the Clippers, are sitting right there, number one in the West. They're the best team. Yeah. Look, they answered all the questions coming into this year. Chemistry issues, check. Look, are we hearing anything come out of this locker room? No, we're not. We're talking about load management. Check. These guys are playing night in and night out, barring any injury. You heard PG talk about it. Leadership, check. Kawhi Leonard is doing some cool things when it comes to leadership, saying some things, holding guys accountable. PG is actually being a really good leader. You add Rondo in there, and then Coach Lou, who's been phenomenal. Check. So when you look at this team and how they're made up, they're in prime position to go get it done. On the offensive end, they're really good. They're the number 2 offense in the NBA. On the defensive side, they're sitting at 10. There's one of 4 teams that is doing that. So I don't see why this team should struggle down the stretch.
Okay, you know what I don't understand, Brandon? I don't see why Nick continues not to believe in playoff Rondo. It's like a Christmas movie with the little boys like, I don't believe in Santa. And then every Christmas, a wonderful gift shows up. He's like, I do believe. And last year believed, and you should believe now. The guy was great on the floor. Not only was he putting up shots, has assists, he was plus 24. He was also doing those little leadership things that we always hear about. We saw a great example. I want to throw it to some post-game sound from Rondo. Take a listen.
Hey, Rajon. There was a play in the fourth quarter, I believe, where it looked like you called out Phoenix's elbow series as they were walking up the floor, and then you guys blew up the whole set. If you can, what was it that you saw that essentially tipped you off to it?
I mean, well, they yelled it. Number 3 on the other team yelled it out quickly and loud, and I just kind of reverted back to my teammates. It's the same play they ran the night before against Utah.
Here's the play. Bring the ball up. Oh, Ronald's like, I know this play, guys. Hey, everybody, adjust to this. We're going to end up getting a turnover. Nick, these are the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. This didn't count as a turnover. For Rondo didn't count as a steal, but it might as well have. So it's not only his production, it's just the overall leadership that Rondo has that makes this Clippers team scary.
Listen, if he's going to be able to do this postseason what he did last postseason, if he's going to be able to do this postseason anything close to what he did last night, then the Clippers absolutely, unequivocally, without a doubt, can make the Western Conference Finals. And that would be the pinnacle of their franchise's achievement, and it would be a great season for them, all things considered. I don't think they can go further, but that to me is the question mark with Rondo. What version are you going to get? But I hope we have time. Can we show the Kawhi quote from 3 weeks ago? Because I think it's instructive. Kawhi, March 15th, very concerned. If we want to have a chance at anything, you got to be consistent. That's what the great teams do. They're consistent. They have their nights, the energy's not there, but it's all about consistency. And he goes on from there. Since then, they've won 10 of 13, including wins over Dallas, Philly, Milwaukee, Portland, and Phoenix last night. They are also, Brandon, very well positioned. Because I don't know if you've looked at their next 10, but their next 10 includes 2 against Detroit, 2 against Houston. They have Indiana, they have Minnesota, they have New Orleans. They got through the tougher part of their schedule, in this month stretch of time, and now it's about to soften up. So they're absolutely within reaching distance of the Suns for the 2 seed. And if the Jazz falter, they could, here in a few weeks, be within a game of the 1 seed. So there's no Clippers slander coming from me this morning. They are peaking on both sides of the ball at the right time.
I see that.
Do I think they can beat the Lakers in a 7-game series? Absolutely not. But they got to get there. Getting there would be an accomplishment for them. And so I thought last night's game was a great, great game for them and an important one, Jenna.
Mark it down. No Rondo slander, no Clipper slander. It's Friday. All things are on the table right now. Winners of 9 of 11. Clippers win last night. It's a good game. These 2 teams will match up again in 3 weeks. We got to take a turn and talk some football now. Fox Bet Sportsbook still has the Kansas City Chiefs as Super Bowl favorites. Wait till you hear how Andy Reid